The DW-8P panel layout features 47 30mm sliders, as well as a navigation section for accessing the menu and settings pages. The front panel is divided into the following subsections. Pitch. The pitch section contains the oscillators, pitch modulation settings, and the ramp generator, which is a new feature incorporating the old auto bend parameters but in a much more user-friendly way. The VCF section contains the filter and the filter modulation settings, including a bipolar envelope slider. The envelope slider combines the envelope polarity switch and the envelope amount parameter. Filter envelope modulation is 0 when the slider is centered, allowing users to set the envelope polarity by moving the slider above or below the 50% mark. This is useful when controlling the filter envelope in real time because it lets you seamlessly morph between positive and negative filter settings. There are two envelopes, one for the filter and another for the amplifier. The effects section contains a digital delay, which is capable of delays, flanges, choruses, and ensemble effects. There is a chorus button for DW-6000 users. If using a DW or EX-8000, the chorus button functions as an effects preset on and off button. We'll talk more about that later. There is a modulation generator, or LFO, which has 4 LFO waveforms. Finally, we have a volume crossfade section and assignable control section. To communicate with the synth, we must first toggle the communication settings. We do that by going to the MIDI menu. In my case, since I'm controlling two DW-8000s, I've got one on channel 1 and another on channel 4, so I'm going to set those MIDI channels. And in this menu, I can also turn on MIDI CC to SysX conversion. This will translate incoming MIDI CCs into SysX. When translate is on, you must set what the sliders are going to send. The sliders can send both a SysX and CC at the same time when the slider is moved, just the CC or just the SysX. This allows for multiple different ways to set up the DW-8P with your recording rig. And finally, we must set the model of DW that we want to control. In my case, I'm controlling DW-8000s. You can select DW-8000, EX-8000, DW-6000, or a user CC map. We'll talk more about those later. Now that we have communication set up, we can control the DW with the sliders. The DW-8P can control one or both DW synths by moving the sliders on the front panel. To select the main, aux, or both synth channels, we hold the Shift button and press the main button. Let's have a look at the pages in the main menu. The main screen displays the value of the currently selected slider. It also displays which synth, the main or the aux, we're controlling, and whether the velocity-controlled ramp generator is active. Press the main button again, and this brings you to the main settings menu. This menu allows you to scroll through all of the programs on your main synthesizer. Here you can also set the key mode. Holding Shift and pressing the right button will also change the key mode, and this you can do in any page. Pressing main again will bring us to the aux settings menu, which is the same as the main, but it controls the other synth. Now let's go to the volume slider. The volume slider acts as a normal volume slider, but it can also function as a crossfade. If you're controlling two DW synths, the volume slider will crossfade between the two. To activate crossfade mode, Go to the main menu and select the volume slider by moving it. Now press Enter. Now when you move this slider back and forth, it will smoothly crossfade between the main and the aux synths. The DW-8P contains banks of effects presets, which can be auditioned on any DW sound by entering the Effects Preset menu. By pushing Shift and Chorus button, this will enter the Effects Preset menu. When in this menu, you can use the data encoder to quickly audition different effects on the currently selected patch. Use the Chorus button to turn this on and off. Let's take a look at the MIDI menu again. Page 2 of the MIDI menu contains the MIDI mapping functions. DW-8P automatically filters out any data that's not on the main or the aux MIDI channels that you set in MIDI page 1. The mapping function will take incoming valid data on either main or aux channel and bump it to the channel of your choosing. So since my main channel is set to channel 4, if I set the map channel to channel 5, then incoming data on channel 4 will be output of the 8P on channel 5. And when it comes back around in a loop on channel 5, then the 8P will just block it out. This is really useful when you're recording and translating slider data, and it makes sure that you won't get any feedback loops. The next page in the MIDI menu is the data filtering page. Here we can have the 8P filter out note, pitch bend, mod wheel, aftertouch, and program change data, which makes the 8P flexible for use with just about any setup. We've also got a chord mode on the 8P. You can select a separate chord for the main and the aux channels, and each chord can have up to 8 notes. Now let's look at the patch generator menu. The first page of the patch generator menu contains a patch generator. Here you can select which type of patch you want to generate, such as bells, electric piano, pads, vocal, analog, digital, bass, and more. You can also mask each section of the synth so that that particular section will be unaffected when you generate a patch. If I don't want the effects section to get changed, for instance, when I generate a new patch, then I'll simply mask the effects. I'm going to do that. If I'm using 2 synths with the 8P and I just want to generate a patch on each one, then when I generate the patch, I hit Shift and Enter. If I want the same patch on both synths, then I can do this. I just selected both synths, and now I'm just going to hit Enter. It's going to send that same patch to both synths. Now you can detune them or whatever you choose. Here I'm going to demonstrate some of the sounds that I create using the patch generator.